Welcome to the E.B. Hood channel, and I'm your host, E.B. Hood, author of Melibeth the Vampire. Today we're doing outside review. Why? Because it's fall, and it's pretty. It's nice out, and I want to be outside. So, if you're new to my channel, here I do reviews on books, and I'm not so sure if I should call them reviews. More like, reviews are always like, it was good, it was bad. But this is more of a overview of a book and a little bit of my opinion. Because we all know you want to hear what I'm thinking. At least that's my opinion of it. What we're going to do is go over a new book today. And the new book is called Niko, The Outsider Chronicles, Book 1 by... Welcome back to the E.B. Hood channel for this little quick interruption in the normal recording of our thing. I messed up the author's name really bad, so here to say it correctly, admitting this into my tape, is my wonderful daughter, Sonia Lynn Hood, and she will be saying the author's name.
Kayti, Nika, Raet.
There we go. And if she pronounced it wrong, you can only blame her.
Hey!
Oh no! She's turned into a Slytherin! Help me! Now this is the first book in her Chronicles, and the book itself is called Niko. The Chronicles, The Outsiders is the name of the series. Now I always like to say this when I do first books, and I know a lot of people know this. First books are an introduction to one's world. So I have and will make remarks to, well, what about this, what about that? But I always like to remind my audience that, hey, it's the first book. You're not supposed to know everything. And I prefer not to. I like surprises. And sometimes things aren't explained, and that's okay, because it will be. Well, that's my hope, anyways. Nothing's worse than reading 5 books later and finding it won't be. But that happens, and this isn't over an entire series. This is over book 1. We'll start off with the location, time, place. This is set in a post-apocalypse time, and it is it's fantastic. It's a neat take. We don't know from this book, or I did not know what exactly happened, and I like how she did it. She doesn't do it like we have no idea, but like rumors and myth, and I'm not going to give them all up. Don't want to ruin the book for you, but I like that. I like that. You're born into a world and somebody tells you about history and you hear 4 different versions, or you're not sure what really happened because history's kind of lost. And I kind of think if in a post-apocalypse world and electric's destroyed and acid rain is falling from the sky like in this book, then you tend not to keep up with history. There's certain things that kind of get in front of history, like eating. Yeah, and drinking. And that seems to be a problem. In this world, there's acid rain that falls from the sky that burns your skin, and fresh water, an issue. I mean, so this is a hard world to survive in, and if that's not enough, there's monsters trying to eat you called Slytherins. These monsters remind me of a good old vampire, except they don't suck blood. They eat your heart, which, what's the difference? You both end up dead, but they're very monstrous. They don't even speak. Maybe vampire's not right, because vampires seem to lure you in with, come here, I'm so pretty. But they're really just like teeth, claws, and they come out of nowhere and they rip you to pieces, and they eat you up. So you have Slytherins to worry about. You have acid rain. You have, obviously, there's not a lot of crops going on, so kind of Mad Max world. And then, of course, the city. Every good post-apocalypse has some city that, of course, rises from the ash and only lets the privileged in. Meanwhile, abusing people as slave labor while keeping most of the population out in what I would refer to as the wilds, perhaps, outside the city walls where anything can happen and slithers eat you regularly. Awesome. Like it. So if you like post-apocalypse books, you're going to like it. Her world's very mixture... not quite Mad Max because you're not on the road so much, but kind of that feel. You know what I'm saying. Alright, creatures and magical places. What I always like to cover as the second part of my overlook of a book. The creatures in this one are pretty simple. There's not a lot of different mythical creatures. We have basically 3 sets of beings. We have Slytherins, as I mentioned earlier, things that eat your heart and don't speak and come out with claws and sharp teeth. They don't seem to be bound by day, and the acid rain doesn't bother them so much. Okay, so then we also have humans. Well, they're dinner. And then we have humans that have the ability to kill Slytherins. Now, I don't know a lot about this, except that our lead character is one of these people, but yet she's even special among them. So, I was like, oh, fascinating. So that's cool. But this also comes to one of my little tiny complaints that I do have about the book. Or not complaints, it's not questions, or maybe observations. I hate to say complaints, because I really enjoyed it. But at one point in the book, we know that Slytherins eat humans, and humans cannot defend themselves against these Slytherins. These Slytherins can tear them to pieces. So, then you have, what do you have? You have these people that suddenly are bad enough, fast enough, strong enough to kill the Slytherins back. I like this. This is a cool idea. But here's the problem in a nutshell. At certain points in the book, and not to give it away, they have problems with, like, humans. Like, the main character who's kicking Slytherin butt doesn't seem to kick human butt. I would think humans would be almost non-threatening. And, I mean, maybe if there's 50 of them or something, but I don't know. It's like, I don't want to give away the book. I'll let you decide for yourself. But I felt she had more trouble. I expected her just to come like, "Hoo-yah-cha!" and just kick some human butt. And it didn't happen when she had some encounters. That being said, the other minor inconsistency with me, and the author made a point of multiple times mentioning that guns will not kill Slytherins. But axes, bows, everything else will. What she doesn't explain why this is. Being a man of armory, some may not know this out in the world, but I have about 25 years of weapon experience, and not just like I have a couple guns. I mean, like, I make my own, cast my own lead bullets. I have swords, I have bows, I have crossbows. I've spent years with all kinds of different errors and time. I have a wide of experience with actual weapons, sword fighting, different techniques. I have a heck of a collection. So, it's been a study and a passion of mine for years. So, look, trust me, I'd rather be shot with a bow than a gun any day. If you could hit my head with the hammer, you could pretty much knock it off with the shotgun. So what I'm trying to figure out is why they're so bulletproof, and yet these other weapons are effective. The author makes many remarks throughout the book of why the guns are ineffective. She makes at least 3-4 times to let me know that these guns are ineffective. But they are effective against humans. So, of course, this brings up some more questions, but I dare not ask it because I'm afraid to give you away too much information. But this is what's exciting about a first book. There's questions left unanswered, and that I'm hoping it's a question unanswered, not an inconsistency. But either way, it didn't detract from the book or the overall story. And let me throw that out there because I don't want you to walk away thinking guns are ineffective and the world's not quite realistic, or I didn't like it. That's not the case. It was just I just wondered, and I still do, and perhaps the author has some answers in the further books, and since I haven't read them, I will save my final judgment. The characters of the book. Dun 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 dun. The main character is Niko. Obviously, she got her name on the title. That kind of always hints. I like this poll, by the way. Boy, that was just my ADD moment. I just got me a selfie poll for doing videos, and I like it a lot. No, anyhow, it's back on subject. The characters, Niko, she's on the title. She's awesome. I like her. Strong feminine character. She's after to save her brother. And who knows what else? Because that's, like I said, I think this book spends a lot of time on a very simplistic story line about surviving and saving her brother, finding her brother, because she gets separated at the very beginning. This is in the back, so I'm not ruining anything here. But there's enough introduction of ideas and government employee. There's definitely more storyline behind the surface, and I like that. It's just, you know, you're just pecking on the surface. And being in a post-apocalypse world, unlike an urban fantasy where I can tell you my character jumped in a Chevy Camaro, and I don't have to explain a Chevy Camaro. You spend a little bit more time just explaining the world in general. Like, I don't know, perhaps, you know, what acid rain is and how they deal with it, and just things that we don't deal with because we don't have acid rain yet. I think that's coming. All right. So, also other characters are Ben. I'm probably gonna mess up this name. Is Malika, and other Slytherin killers that end up in a group. I'm gonna tell you, her characters are strong. At one point, she tries. I feel like the main character was like having almost like a love relationship with the obvious person that she was not gonna fall for, and that goes back to Ben. I think he is the strongest character, even as much so as the lead character. And being this is a first-person point of view, I'm going to tell you that's impressive. When you can bring a secondary character and make them more of a primary character, he's funny, he's witty, and I guarantee you he was hard to write. He is definitely enjoyable. I can't wait to read more of Ben. So kudos on that. Kudos on strong characters throughout. If you like characters and definitely different personality, each of these people have their voices. They're very distinct. They have, and you know, she thickens a little on the background of some of them and makes them a little deeper than just, you know, shallow water. And I have a feeling we're going to hear a lot more of these characters and even deep in the plot. I can't wait to find more about Ben, family past, such and so forth and so on. Now, the plot. I think I already kind of said it. In this book, it's pretty much an introduction to a world. Her house is it's on fire. She goes in to save her brothers. One brother's killed, and the other brother she sees but then disappears. And then there's a whole mystery where she's trying to find her brother the entire time. But somehow I think this is leading to a bigger conspiracy. The fact that she does not find her brother, or anyways, I'll let you read it. You should read it, because it's plot that it's thickening to a deeper plot. The overall plot, pretty simple, and yet very good. The construction of the book and the overall arc was fantastic. That's my last point of the thing. The book is easy to read. It flows well. The speech, yeah, that's it, because I speak so well. Super well. Fantastical. So yeah, the speech and everything, it flows. Yeah, that's it. It has a fantastic a rhythm to it, a nice balance between some action scenes and plot builder and information. I mean, nobody wants to sit there and read an informational guide, and yet we still want the information. She's good about dosing it in small amounts. Very nice. So it's a quick read. You'll go right through it. Trust me, I'm writing my third book right now. I'm finishing it up, and I read this between it, and when I got tired of writing, I'm just sitting there in bed, and I tell you, if it wouldn't have been for my hectic schedule, it would not have taken me a week to read. It took me a week to read because I was only reading a couple pages a night, but I still flew right through it. It's a good read. The overall book and the rating. All right, I give this a PG for everyone, and seldom it seems like I pick up a book anymore that I would save it. And I like even my own book, I say it's PG-13, questionable if not R. I always tell people read the first chapter. If you don't like it, don't get worse than that, and I lay it out there. When I read this one, and for you concerned parents and people that don't want to read it, the sex is mild, if non-existent. So if you're into heavy romance, sorry, but there is some romantic elements, and I feel that the next books might cover that. There's not a lot of foul language, and yes, there is some violence. It's mild, but I don't know if anybody even counts violence anymore. My cat's going crazy. It's absolutely funny. He's running all over the place. He's putting on a show. He wanted to be on our tape. He wanted to be on the E.B. Hood channel. Anyways, this is a good book. There's going to be links below to the author, to the Amazon page for you to buy it. Check it out. It's a great series. It's a great first book. It's going to be a great series. I just have a feeling you just pick it up. I've had such good luck and really kind of blessed lately with indie books. Met this group, and the group of people in this seem to all be great writers. I don't do reviews of books I don't like. I generally don't even finish them. Like I said, this is less of a review and more of an overview of stuff. So when you come and say, hey, what's this book about? It's either going to pique your interest or it's not. But if you like fantasy books like me, then you're going to like this book, period. You're just going to pick it up and you'll probably get right into the Chronicles. And I will later. I got another review coming up real soon from another lady in the group. You'll see that coming, so keep our eyes out peeled for it. We're going to but for now we're going to cover we're going to cover the rest of her books eventually. We will get there. But I thank you. Like I said, link below where to purchase it, more information about the author, and thank you once again for watching the EB Hood channel. Check out my work. It's mellowbeth.com, and appreciate it once again. I'm out. Later. Get lost. Bye. Wonderful day. Look at those leaves. Bye-bye.
Remember, if you buy my daddy's book, a percent of every dollar goes to feed me.
How sad.